The Diz Unplugged Universal Edition is brought to you by Dreams Unlimited Travel. Visit them on the web at www.dreamsunlimitedtravel.com. Hey everyone, this is episode 6 of the Diz Unplugged Universal Edition. I'm Craig Williams.
And I'm Sean Thompson.
And this week we're going to be talking about Universal's Cabana Bay Beach Resort. Yeah.
That's it, yeah.
Yep, we're done.
Well, I think we should talk about it a little more.
Okay.
All right.
Well, it's the newest Loews Hotel to come to Universal Orlando.
Not the hardware store.
Yeah, not the
People
hardware.
might think it's related, but it's not.
I misspell it about 90% of the time.
The same letters, just different order.
Exactly.
Yeah.
2 different owners from what I understand as well.
All from the Loews family.
All from the different Loews family. They probably feud with each other,
They do.
kind of Romeo and Juliet style. But yeah, we're going to get to Cabana Bay really soon here. But before we do go on to that, I wanted to make a correction from last week's show. If you didn't watch, shame on you. And if you did watch and you know anything about Universal, you'll know that well, did I say what we even talked about last week?
No, not yet.
Oh, we talked about roller coasters.
We did.
And so we mentioned all of them, but for some reason I completely forgot to mention and skipped over Pterodon Flyers in Jurassic Park at Islands of Adventure.
Which doesn't, in my head, seem like a roller coaster.
It is, though. It's it's a single rail coaster. So the only reason I know it's a roller coaster is because I used to play Roller Coaster Tycoon all the time back in the Windows 95, 98 days. And that's one of the coasters you could build. And so, yeah, it's just a single rail, and you're supposed to be sitting in the pterodons, which are the flying dinosaurs. They fly, and so you're flying on the coaster. And that coaster does have 2 seats, and it's actually really unique in that it's designed for kids that are between 36 to 56 inches. So if your kid is 57 inches, they can't ride it. And if they're under 36, then obviously they can't ride it too for safety reasons. But the whole reason for that is that if it's actually too heavy, if you have 2 adults riding in it, then it could actually flip the bird over. So because it kind of swings. It's not just like your normal roller coaster where you're on there. It moves back and forth.
Okay, so I have some questions.
Yes.
So an adult can go on it with a child that's in between 36 and 57.
Yeah.
What if an adult's in between that size? Or, I mean... What? Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm confused about the arrangement.
Sorry, I guess I shouldn't have said it as children 36 inches to 56 inches. Just people who are that height.
So someone in that range has to be accompanied by someone over 57?
They still have the supervising companion role. So as long as they're over 48 inches and over a certain age, I don't like to say the age out loud because then you get parents.
It's a spoiler alert.
Yeah. Well, the parents hear about it, and then all of a sudden they're going to teach their kids to just lie about their age. It happened at Disney whenever I worked at Test Track.
Okay.
It happened at Universal. It always happens. So they have to be a certain age and over that 48-inch height requirement. And then they're able to be the supervising companion.
Adults cannot go by yourself?
Adults cannot go by themselves.
Because it'll be off balance?
If it gets too heavy,
or because
whenever it goes
creepy
down these hills, it could actually, with your body weight and force all combining together, it could flip the birds over.
It could flip the birds.
Yeah.
So, do they tell you the adult needs to sit on the left and the child needs to be on the right?
It's front and back.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So,
adult in the front, child in the back.
I would put the child in the front, otherwise they're not going to be able to see anything.
Okay. I thought it was side by side, okay.
I guess I didn't do a good job explaining this.
Well, I have no experience with this attraction.
Well, we'll just go look at it.
All right.
So, just stand there with zoom lenses and just creep on people on their birds.
Is there a place you can rent children to go on this attraction?
Well, that's kind of something we always talked about. Like, can't wait for the day that we have kids so that we can actually ride this ride.
Yeah. I'm sure they discourage you from asking random families.
No, but I mean, at the same time, too, if you see a crying kid, you could always abduct them and say...
Let's stop here.
But no, I just wanted to clear that up that we didn't talk about it.
You were upset.
I was.
Yeah.
I was freaking out. I thought about just canning the entire show and never posting it to the world.
My favorite option, you were going to record yourself in your living room talking about it and then put it over just like Ken Burns images.
Yes, I was going to do that. Documentary style.
Yeah, you should have done that.
That's just kind of the person I am.
Yeah.
But let's get to Cabana Bay because we have a lot to go over. It's kind of funny watching Dustin just die in the background.
No.
Oh, he's still alive. I don't want to throw anyone off there, but so yeah, Cabana Bay. Before we get really far into it, though, I want to stress a couple things. First off, it's not an actual review / a full review. We were invited there as media, and we did not pay for our hotel room, along with a couple other things, including the bowling and one free breakfast.
Yeah, we were treated well.
Yeah, they threw it all out there for us so we could really get a good feel of what happened and, well, what happens when you stay there. And we did. However, since we didn't pay for a lot of stuff, we still paid for a lot of food and drinks and such as that. But for the most part, it was taken care of. So this is in no way a review. We're just going to give you all the facts.
Yeah, and it's not all the way open yet. There's still a huge part of the resort.
Exactly.
The only thing that are open now are family suites, so the standard rooms aren't even open, so you can't even see what those are like. And
exactly.
And then there's like a lazy river and stuff coming, so
yeah,
we'll go back.
Yeah, we'll talk about everything that's going to open up first. Yeah. But first, Cabana Bay Beach Resort is joining the other Loews hotels there. We have Royal Pacific, Portofino Bay, and the Hard Rock Hotel. So I know you haven't stayed at any of those. But
no, I haven't.
No. Well, that's sad.
I haven't lived.
Yeah.
I've been to all of them.
Yeah.
I think.
No.
No,
yeah,
I have. Yeah.
You have. Yeah. But they're all beautiful hotels. They're considered deluxe hotels. And I mean, the price range goes with it. A lot of those hotels, they can get as cheap as $200 a night, but for the most part, they are in the 300s.
And they're beautiful hotels.
They are. They're beautiful. They have deluxe amenities there, and you pay a lot for it, but you get your monies out of it. Monies.
Your monies.
Your monies.
I wasn't going to comment on it until you laughed.
I don't know what I was thinking with that word.
Your monies.
But so Cabana Bay Beach Resort opens up. It's now considered a moderate / value. That's Universal's basis for it. They consider it both. So it's kind of bringing that into Universal because they didn't have that before with only deluxe resorts. And part of that comes the perks along with deluxe that you don't get there. You still get the early park admission to Wizarding World of Harry Potter.
That's like their version of EMH.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, you get in an hour earlier before park opens, and you still get that perk with that. However, one thing you don't get is the water taxis to take you to the parks. Like all the other hotels, you can jump on a water taxi and go from there because they're all in walking distance.
You're not forbidden for going on a water taxi. There's just not one that takes you to the hotel.
Yeah, there's no water.
No, of course.
I mean, maybe one day there'll be one in the lazy river once that opens.
Yeah, hopefully. Cross your fingers.
Yeah. But no water taxis to take you to the parks.
Okay.
They do have the shuttle buses.
They're great buses.
They are great buses.
Oh, is that for later?
I think so. I don't know.
Okay.
We can always just skip it later. The buses are they're themed to like that late 50s, early 60s.
They are.
style.
They've got the wood paneling on the sides. Even if you see them from up top, you can see surfboards.
Yeah.
They have surfboards printed on top of the buses, which is pretty cool.
And from what I could tell, just watching them, they run extremely regularly.
Yeah.
Basically, if one leaves, another one shows right up.
I think I saw someone tweet today that they had like 3 buses running.
Oh, yeah.
At one point. So,
but that's good.
Yeah.
It's good that they're doing that. So you have that. A walking path is going to be coming soon. They're building a bridge actually to go over the road that's coming out of taxpayers' dollars. We talked about that on the Viz Unplugged normal Tuesday live show.
The normal show.
The normal show.
Yeah, that is true.
The new normal. So
failed sitcoms.
Ooh, okay, Jeopardy now. But anyways, there's the walking path coming soon.
Yeah.
A big thing that a lot of people are upset about is that you don't get express with your pass ticket or with your key
resort
card
stay.
to stay
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Yeah. All the other hotels, you get free express in the park. So if you don't know what express is the what's
like Fast Pass.
Yeah.
You go to the front of the line, they scan it.
Yeah.
And then I don't know what they do. I've never done it.
Then you just go through express.
Okay.
So I just had a major
It
brain
saves
fart.
you a lot of time. I've heard it's a really good deal.
It is. It's a good deal.
Yeah.
And normally it's a paying thing. So stay at one of the deluxe hotels.
You get it for free.
You get it for free.
Okay.
So that's a big perk of staying there. You don't get that with Cabana Bay, but however, you're paying a lot less
to
stay there.
Yeah.
So,
isn't it something like if you're just a day guest, isn't it like 60? It's like $70 a day?
It can be during like peak season, whenever it's crazy. So Christmas week, it's going to be that much per person.
Okay.
But then on a slow day in April, it might.
It's $9. You just throw. Okay.
Usually around $30 it starts.
Okay.
So I almost said 30 ducks. So
you're having a hard time today, but it's funny.
If your currency is in ducks, then that's great.
Money's in ducks. All right.
So the only other thing you don't get with it too is priority seating at select restaurants.
I didn't know that was a thing.
I don't think anyone.
Is it ever useful?
Well, you have. There's only like 3 sit-down restaurants between both parks. So you have Finnegan's, you have Mythos, you have I can't think of the seafood one ever. It's not Landry's. It's not Landry's. No, that's the seasoned salt.
But yeah.
It's embarrassing. So
it's so embarrassing.
Of course, we're Universal experts, or I'm supposed to be.
I know what you're talking about. We were in that one time for Harry Potter.
Yeah, but okay. So you're supposed to get priority seating at the deluxe resorts. You don't get that here. I don't think that's a really big waste. I've never seen any of the restaurants filled up.
Yeah.
Anytime I go, but I'm not there on busy days, so I don't know. But back to Cabana Bay because that's important. Mm-hmm. Phase 1 of the development opened on March 31st, so last week. And that included the lobby and the entranceway, and then also the Cabana Courtyard, which is kind of the pool that's in the middle of the 600 family suites that also opened up.
It's directly behind the main building,
exactly
where the lobby is.
Mm-hmm. And everything in the lobby is open. The only thing that's not open yet are 900 standard rooms, another 300 family suites, the Lazy River Courtyard. As you mentioned before, Lazy River with another pool, and then the Hideaway Bar and Grill, and all that's set to open on June 16th.
June 16th, yeah. The one thing I did notice that they said for the new suites and rooms, they're all going to be indoor hallways, even for the suites.
Yeah.
So I think that's pretty cool. I wonder why they did it separate. I like the outdoor because it makes it feel more 1960s kind of retro.
Well, and that's that whole motel feel, but the towers are actually based off of the first Loews Hotel that opened up in Miami.
Oh, okay.
So that's where they got that kind of influence from it. And, I mean, you've been able to see those being built from the day it started. And they look good from the outside, and they actually just recently put up their signs, the Americana and the Continental.
Yeah, it's kind of like the sleek silver line kind of typography. It looks really good.
Yeah, I can't wait to see it lit up at night, if it does. But so everything that is open currently in the lobby includes the Swizzle Lounge, the Universal gift shop.
Not the Universal Studios gift shop.
Yes, we'll get to that too.
All right, I can't wait.
Starbucks, Bayliner Diner.
Yeah. Do you want me to read some of these?
Game-O-Rama
Arcade, Fun in the Sun Recreation Center.
Yeah.
Galaxy Bowl Bowling Alley.
Mm-hmm.
And the best thing on the planet is the Jack LaLanne Physical Fitness Studio.
I know.
Based on the juicer.
Yes.
Not the man.
Not the man, the juicer.
Yeah, no, it is the man. It's very retro. It's cool. They use a lot of his intellectual property. His face is on some of the stuff. It's very themed retro. We'll talk about it later, but
we'll get there.
All right.
That's the key word for today. We'll get there.
Yeah, we will. This is going to be a 4-hour show.
It will. Buckle up. Cabana Courtyard's open. That's the pool area that's there right now. You have the Atomic Tonic Bar there.
Pool bar. Mm-hmm.
You have a recreation area with pool tables, ping pong tables, beanbag toss, hula hoops.
What is happening?
Hula hoops?
Hula hoops.
I don't say the word often, so I don't really know how it's pronounced. But
what's ladder ball?
Ladder ball, it's got the 3 sticks that are kind of stacked up, and you throw 2 balls with a string connecting the 2 balls, and you kind of.
I've never heard of this, or I did not see this at the resort.
It's a tailgating game.
Okay.
So,
I don't know.
Go tailgate sometime.
Well, that's me.
Go to a. I mean, it's gonna sound terrible, but go to a Dave Matthews concert and just.
They play ladder ball there.
Get your cheap beer.
Okay. And among other things, I'm sure.
Yes.
And then your ladder ball.
And just your ladder ball and your beanbag toss. Same thing for sports.
Sports and Dave Matthews, the same. Yeah. Okay.
Just any concert, really. I don't.
All right. It's got to be Dave Matthews.
But ladder ball, continue. Okay. Since you distracted me.
I'm sorry, I saw it in the thing and I had to ask.
Okay. Couldn't do a Google search.
Right, yeah, I will do a Google search. We'll include pictures in the finished video.
Oh, yay.
Yay. Ladder ball. I lost my place.
Fire pit.
Fire pit. Private cabanas to rent. Daily food trucks, which I think is really cool. Movies at night.
Yeah.
And of course the pool, which has 0 entry. There's like a kids interactive area and then a water slide that shoots out.
It's not that it has 0 entry. It is 0 entry.
But not the whole thing.
Yeah, not the whole thing.
It has a part that's 0 entry.
I know. It just, the way you made it sound is that like no one's allowed in. Everyone just looks at it.
All right. I didn't mean it to
There's no entry.
There's a bouncer and they let certain people in. It has a portion that is 0 entry.
Oh, okay.
And a water slide that shoots out of the iconic dive tower, which you're not allowed to dive from because safety.
You're not. And because there's no ladder up there.
Oh, but people will find a way.
Will they?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, maybe one day. So before we are going to start with the suites, but actually let's start with the lobby. And
okay.
So, you're getting ready to pull up, and the first thing you see is that that nice light up neon sign at night. During the day, it's obviously not lit up. I mean, it's right there.
Oh yeah.
So you see that, and it's pretty cool. It's very inviting. It has an arrow on it that points where you're supposed to go.
So specific. Let's just list off generic facts about the things that we were talking about.
Well, I might not know how to get there.
Okay, yeah.
If it's not for that sign.
You're right. The sign is very helpful, especially when you're wandering on that road that leads to nowhere except for I-4 and to Cabana Bay.
Well,
yeah.
That's the kind of person I am.
So the sign's really pretty. It's retro. It's got a big arrow. It's really cool at night. I took a Vine of it, so we'll link to that too in the show notes.
Oh.
But it's kind of like the retro neon lights. It looks cool.
And then you pull up and you see another giant sign.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all signs. That's all this resort is signs.
Well, you saw the sign, and it opened up your eyes.
Yours eyes.
Yours eyes.
Okay.
Oh.
You got to make it. If you're going to go for an Ace of Base joke, you got to get it right.
Okay. So then you get up there to where the next sign is and where the lobby is, and there's multiple entrances. Actually, it's not just like you get in. You can go into the lobby. You can also choose to enter into the Bayliner Diner from outside.
Yep.
Of course, this is also where the bus stop is, and we've already talked about the cool buses.
Are we talking about the cars now? Because they have cars parked out.
Yeah, let's talk about the cars.
Okay, so they have like 4 retro cars. There's like a Ford Thunderbird, a bunch of other things. I don't know.
Well, it's a T-Bird.
Oh, you don't say Thunderbird?
You can say. Well, you should, but T-Bird.
Okay.
Okay, then you got the Chrysler
it.
Imperial. You have a Chevy Impala.
Oh, you have them listed, yeah.
Yeah, not the Chevy Impalas that they give you at the airport whenever you rent a car.
Yeah.
Although those are grand. They're not really retro yet.
They're grand.
and then kind of the signature car there, the Ford Country Squire station wagon, which is the nice woody station wagon. What the way they kind of always describe this hotel is that, it's the roadside motels that you would see in the late 50s from 58 to 62 generally, that, you back in those days, everyone loaded up in the station wagon and started driving to wherever they're going. And that's what this hotel is supposed to signify, that kind of feeling, that kind of generation. So it's nice that they did put a station wagon out there. And the one thing that I'm still kind of confused about is whether or not you can get in the cars to take pictures.
I don't think you're allowed to.
But we did see people doing it.
We did, but I don't think that's normal.
Yeah, just don't break the glass.
Yeah.
If you can get in without breaking the glass, have a ball. So also, before you go inside the lobby, that's where you could park your cars.
There is a parking lot.
There is a parking lot.
That's the biggest feature of this hotel.
An expensive parking lot.
It is expensive.
Nonetheless. $10 a day if you're staying there. I think that's actually better than the other hotels. Those one might be $15, but don't quote me on that. And then if you're a visitor just showing up and you're going to stay longer than a half an hour up to an entire day, they charge you $20 for that.
This is crazy to me.
It is.
I understand why they have to do it, but it's crazy.
I do. They have very limited parking there, and that's going to stay that way for a while.
All right.
And then under half an hour and under is $5. So
okay, so you have to make sure that if you're going to get lunch there, you can go in, order your tuna casserole in under 30 minutes, and just pay $5 for parking.
Honestly, I think the smart thing to do in general is if you don't make it like I'm going out of my way to go to Cabana Bay to hang out for a little bit.
Go
park in the parking
garages, yeah,
and then walk over or take a bus back. I don't think they're looking at the key cards just to make sure that you're staying there. So
and then you're walking off the tuna casserole, so it's all good.
Okay. But let's enter inside the lobby. Tell me about that.
The lobby is huge. The big centerpiece is this big tree thing where there's this big kind of cage with these big palm trees in it. It looks great, very retro looking. Everything's very bright. There's lots of windows everywhere. I think there's even skylights. It's all very open and airy.
Yeah.
There's a carpeted area around this kind of tree sculpture that has a lot of seating. There's kind of like cool, smaller retro chairs, kind of lounges. So people that are checking in, you could just kind of hang out there with your luggage. Or if you're just kind of hanging out, just sit there and read, whatever. The check-in desk and stuff is to the right. There's this really cool retro mosaic tile.
It is,
thing in the back. It looks really nice.
It is tile.
Yeah, it is tile. Real tile. And then
it's very beachy.
It is.
Yeah.
Cabana Bay Beach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That might be a theme.
I think.
Okay.
Yeah. What else am I missing? It's just big, and then on the left is what
you have the Swizzle Lounge.
Well, that's So on the left, you have the Swizzle Lounge, which is the lobby bar, which is fantastic.
Named after the Swizzle stick.
Name brand, copyright, trademarked. Yeah.
Maybe.
I think.
Okay.
But they have this really cool kind of like curvy seating right next to it. So there's tables and stuff there, and then the bar itself is pretty long. I'd say probably room enough for maybe 12, 15 people. That vague number.
Yeah.
But it's really nice, really sleek. The full bar. They have signature drinks there, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Very themed to the theme of the hotel itself. So like Manhattans, old fashioned.
Yeah.
Elvis sidecars.
I think they call theirs the new sidecar though.
They do because of I don't know.
New Christine.
The New Adventures of Old Sidecar.
Exactly. And then they have the Swizzle Rum Punch, too.
Yeah.
That's kind of like their signature drink, I guess you would say.
Because of the Swizzles.
Yeah, it's named after it.
And they have 4 different Swizzle sticks that you can borrow and steal and take home. Different colors. Yeah, he's got it right in front of his... Okay. But the drinks are really good.
This is a Swizzle stick.
They're anywhere between $9 and $12.
I don't know why I'm leaning
I don't know,
out of the camera
weird.
there. Okay. But yeah.
But yeah, relatively good prices. Right next to the Swizzle Lounge is the Universal store.
Before we get that even, I think we need to mention the fact that the Swizzle Lounge, it actually closes at 11 o'clock.
That is true,
night.
yeah.
You think a bar, you think it's going to be open until 2 a.m. Or even midnight, but it closes at 11. And the answer we got for it, among a ton of people asking the entire time we were there, they're really pushing to get people over to City Walk. After hours, once the night happens, go to City Walk and enjoy all that. But I liked staying there.
I did too. It was quieter. I liked the theming better. It was just a very different experience than City Walk.
But let's go to the Universal Gift Shop.
All right, let's. Yeah. You want to explain the name?
I can.
I mean, you know more about it than I do.
So it's called the Universal Gift Shop, and it's got it's retro on the sign. Kind of that old classic Universal font that they used back in the 50s and 60s on their movies, maybe even earlier. Try not to watch those ones. They're old. But yeah, so all the other stores that sell these merchandise type things are the Universal.
Oh God.
Gosh, the Universal Studio Store. They're all over property. There's one in City Walk. There's one in each park. They're in all the hotels. Here it's called Universal Gift Shop because, well, that's what it would have been known as back then.
Yeah. So I think they had to do like a petition. They had to call the governor.
They did.
It was very important. They
got on the rotary phones and hello, operator.
That's exactly what they did. Yeah.
Put me through. So yeah, you can get your Harry Potter, Despicable Me merchandise, Simpsons, everything that Universal uses. Yeah, they sell it there.
The best part, though, I think, was the actual Cabana Bay merchandise that they offered. They had some T-shirts, glasses, mugs, hats, beautiful hats. Are we talking about hats?
We can actually talk about that.
All right,
let's not talk about that yet. We'll save that until right before the break.
We'll save our riveting hat conversation for later.
Dun, dun, dun.
There's also tote bags and beach blankets, beach towels. I'm sorry, which I think are really cool, and they're the striped kind that kind of fit the theming. Yeah. So it's nice to see that they have some cool resort specific merchandise.
Well, and they also have the Jack LaLanne merch too.
They do. No juicers though, which is upsetting.
No juicers. Yeah. Those would just cost too much, and I don't know how you'd fit it in your luggage.
I don't know.
Okay, but yeah, they have shirt, hats, and water bottles. So all really, really nice stuff. It was cool to see it. You know, we talk about Disney a lot with having actual logo merchandise for their hotels and stuff. So it's cool that Universal kind of picked up on that. I think they realized they had to, though.
I think you're right.
50s beach gear.
It fits so perfectly. People are going to want this stuff. Do they have medical supplies?
They do have medical. That's where you'll get your medical supplies like medicine and
that one.
Band-Aids, hand sanitizer.
I didn't know they served all this, or they sold it all.
You know how I found out about it?
No, I don't want to know.
Well, I'm going to tell you.
Are we telling the story?
The reason I found out about it is because if you accidentally break the top of a glass beer bottle, you can slice your hand open. And then the only way to fix it besides going to the hospital is going to the gift shop, buying Band-Aids and some hand sanitizer.
I don't know what idiot would have done this. And then used a bath mat to stop the bleeding.
Well, my hands are all clean and good.
Well, I'm healing, so...
But yes, you can buy medical supplies there. They are overpriced, so make sure to always bring your own medical supplies from home.
I'm really grateful that someone went to the gift shop to get medical supplies.
Huh.
Yeah.
Medical supplies.
I didn't grab the bath mat. And I didn't realize it until like 20 minutes later. I was like, this is a really thick towel.
Well, we're never getting invited back to anywhere. So right next to that.
I threw it away, everyone. Don't worry.
Yeah. Okay, Starbucks. Okay, it's right next to there.
There is Starbucks, and it's really cool. It's like retro themed, as is everything with this resort. They went to Weeki Wachee to take photos of the mermaids.
Yeah.
So tying in the kind of Starbucks logo mermaid thing.
Yeah.
So there's kind of big photo murals in the back of the Starbucks that look really, really nice. It's an open area.
Yeah.
So you can go and sit there and work. There's plenty of seating for everything. They do sell kind of like the bakery items with the muffins and I don't know, breads and whatever.
It's your standard Starbucks fare. With all the drinks are the same, all the food's the same. You're not going to find anything that you wouldn't at a different one. It's just a nice little convenience to have Starbs right there in your lobby.
Starbs. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how
weird people say it.
That's how people like me say it.
Yeah.
Starbs. And then you go to Arbs. Fill up on carbs.
This needs to end.
Okay. Let's go upstairs, though.
Yeah, so right in front of Starbucks is this really kind of cool staircase with some like pillowed seating around it.
Yeah.
And there's a water feature in the middle of it.
Mm-hmm.
And so you walk up the stairs, and then right there is the bowling alley.
It is.
Yeah. And that's it.
Yeah.
It's called Galaxy Bowl.
Yep.
And it's a small bowling alley.
Yeah, 10 lanes.
10 lanes.
And the prices.
Yeah.
We'll talk about our opinion on the prices because we did not pay. We did bowl there. We did not pay for it, though. It's $15 per person plus $4 for shoe rental.
Okay.
1 to 3 people on a lane is for 1 hour, that price that you pay. And if you have 4 to 8 people, you get an hour and a half. So it's all timed. They have full service too. Well, it's not full service, but they can bring you burgers, chicken sandwiches, stuff like that. They have a menu. They have a drink menu with some specialty drinks on it, like the 300, which wasn't that a margarita or something?
The 300?
Yeah.
With Gerard Butler? What?
No, the 300 drink.
I didn't look at it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wait. Yeah. The 300, because it's bowling.
I think it was a margarita.
It was a margarita. I think you had it.
It was big. No, I didn't have it.
Okay.
No, it was in this giant souvenir glass, though.
It was.
It looked really big.
Yeah, and it was, I think, expensive.
But yeah, it was probably expensive. Yeah. But then during the day, there's normal bowling alley lighting, so really depressing. The kind of stuff that makes you just feel terrible about yourself for being in a bowling alley in the middle of the day. And then at night, it gets pretty crazy with some special lighting. And they put music videos on of all your favorite 50s and 60s artists.
You're joking, right?
I think whenever we walked in to look at it, it was 3 doors down.
Yeah, okay.
And
Avril Lavigne.
Avril Lavigne. So once again, your favorite 50s and 60s musicians.
There was lots of Selena Gomez,
like
Demi Lovato. It was not themed.
Not great. But that connects to the arcade.
Yes.
And once again, you have all your classic 50s and 60s arcade games in there, like Fruit Ninja and, every racing game there is.
Okay.
There was
like a skee ball. There was like a weird air hockey that went in a curve.
That was my attempt at humor. It's got all brand new games, like high end arcade games. They really proud about getting all these brand new games in this really small space. But then they do have kind of like circus games as well. So skee ball. I don't know what the game's called. You like throw the ball and it's got the wacky woolly man.
I know nothing about what you're talking about.
You've never been to a circus?
A circus?
A circus?
Yeah.
A fair?
No, a fair, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. They had skee ball, basketball, racing things, and I don't know. It smelled weird.
It's an arcade. So you can get some tickets and turn them in for cheap prizes.
Rubber erasers. I don't even know.
Wubble Waithus?
Wubba. Baba Wawa.
Okay.
All right.
So then also upstairs is the Jack LaLanne Fitness Center that we talked about.
So it's interesting that the gym was in the lobby or in the main building, upstairs in the lobby. But there was an outdoor path, so you didn't have to go through the main area.
Exactly.
Because, I mean, if you're going to the gym, you're going to be gross and you don't want to have to walk through all that stuff. But like I said earlier, it's all Jack LaLanne, who was like the 60s guy, fitness guy, very, I don't know.
And he is real for anyone who doubted it.
He is real, but he's no longer with us.
I did doubt it, though.
I know
he's dead.
Yeah, but a few years ago. But he made juicers. He was like famous for his juicers.
Don't try to church it up, though. He's dead.
He's passed. But anyway, his legacy still lives on at Cabana Bay. And I don't know why am I laughing about him dying, but it's
so private locker rooms are in there.
There's locker rooms, yes,
for changing.
And there's a shower. They made a point of the fact that there were showers, so that if you were like checking out early in the morning, but you wanted to take a shower before your flight left, you could use these two.
Now, if you were a hobo, are you allowed to spend the night?
I don't think we should recommend this.
Okay.
Because it closes at like 11 or midnight or something.
So you're stuck in there all night then?
I'm sure they check.
Till 5 a.m.
Hobo Joe's over there.
And they didn't say the exact number, but I'd say about 4 or probably over 50 different workout machines. There was a lot
They did say this. We were on a tour. They said that on paper, it looked like a normal sized gym.
Yeah.
But then when they actually built the space and it was time to fill it with like equipment and treadmills and all this stuff, they were like, oh my God, this place is huge.
Yeah.
So it looks a little sparse, but it's not. There's plenty of machines.
Yeah.
But it's just a big area. And so there's mirrors and there's a Jack LaLanne statue.
Yeah, the Jack LaLanne statue. Yeah. They've got the TV running that's showing like old clips from his show. Yeah. And then it's got a nice window that looks out into the Cabana courtyard. And
you just got British there for a second. But yeah.
Sorry. No, it's a really cool gym.
It is.
From what I could tell.
Nice. Yep.
I don't go into gyms much anymore. I like to do the workout that involves lifting the bottle to my face
and then cutting
my teeth open. So also upstairs.
That's the second part of the story that we didn't tell. Right.
So we also have the Gamerama arcade upstairs.
You already talked about that.
Wow, we talked about
Keep going.
Fun in the Sun Rec Center. It's got TVs, board games up there. It's not open daily, but they are going to use it on rainy days whenever they need activities for.
Yeah, it's like a rec center, just tables and games or whatever.
Yep, and then the big thing that we will now talk about for the next 72 hours, the Bayliner Diner food court. That's downstairs. That's not upstairs, but that's the big boy. So we want to talk about it right before we take a quick break.
Okay. Oof, I'm tired already.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's go. Lightning round.
There's different stations. It reminded me a lot of the Art of Animation food court.
Okay.
The way that it was laid out. There were different stations.
How many?
6, I believe.
Okay.
I'm reading that right now.
Yep.
Salad bar.
Mm-hmm.
Do I have to read the real names?
Yep.
Sizzling good. Hot off the grill.
I don't think you really got the exclamation point on that.
I think it was
sizzling good.
All right. Burgers, chicken, fries, that kind of stuff. A World of Taste. International Eats. There was beef. Swedish meatballs here. That was very good.
And the Swedish meatballs were kind of what they were toting as the
retro,
the big thing. It's international food, but the same kind of international food that you'd expect mom to cook you at home.
Exactly.
And that leads into actually the next place.
My favorite place, Delicioso Pizza. I never had their pizza. They do offer pizza and pasta, and you can have a pizza delivered to your room.
Yeah.
And to the pool bar, which is cool.
All around.
But the best thing at the little booth here was the tuna noodle casserole. Mm-hmm. Which was unbelievable. It was like old fashioned, like your grandma makes with the noodles and the cheese and the tuna and the peas and the crackers on top, and then it's baked and it's so good. I had it 4 times.
I wouldn't eat it growing up, but I actually ate it there, and
you were like King Joffrey when you were a kid.
I know that this isn't a review, but since I spent like 60 of my own dollars
I bought
on
lots
this
of
tuna noodle casserole, I feel confident in saying that is it's worth it.
Yeah.
But then they also have the delicatessen there. That's where you'll get your wraps, sandwiches, soup.
Yep.
They've got a soft serve ice cream with a nice little fixins bar. And you can also get ices there. And then, of course, they also have sections for grab and go, prepackaged stuff,
all that kind of stuff.
The stuff you see in food courts, since this is a food court.
It is a food court.
It's not a full service. There is no full service restaurants there. Only this quick service food court.
Yep. One of the cool things is they do have the Sonic fill cups.
They do.
Which is right here with the red cap. It's kind of similar to the rapid fill mugs that Disney offers.
Exactly.
You pay a certain rate for how many days you want to use it, and there's an RFID chip. It knows exactly your time limit, whatever. Yep. There's no refill limits on this, I don't believe.
There is the same thing as Disney.
On the
kind
cups.
of every 5 minutes between fills. For the prices on it, $8.99 for 1 day, $11.99 for 2, $14.99 for 3. $17.99 length of stay.
Pretty much same as Disney.
Yep. And then every day ends at midnight, so it doesn't matter if you don't check out until 11 o'clock the next morning. That's still a full day.
Yeah.
You'd have to buy it for that day as well, too. They've got classic Coke machines that you would see at McDonald's, anywhere else, kind of to fill it up. Yeah, fountains. And then they also have Coca-Cola freestyle machines, which is always neat. And, water and iced tea, those are still free until everyone figures out a way to
make their own soda.
Yeah.
I brought my own soda stream.
Ooh.
Yeah.
They also serve breakfast there, including they have pancake platters, French toast platters, classic breakfast sandwich, omelets, stuff to grab on the go. Get out of there. Boom, boom, boom.
Boom, boom, boom.
It's a cool food court. It
is. So the seating I want to mention.
Yeah.
There's a huge seating area. I never saw it full. In fact, I think
Massive.
3/4 of it was closed. There was just not enough people to sit there.
Yeah.
But it's really nice. They have TV screens showing like old commercials, old like TV shows.
Yeah.
And in the back of the food court, there's actually this really cool mural.
Yeah.
That is actually the artwork that's featured on the cup. Yep. The Sonic Film mug. So yeah, it's just nice. There's old light fixtures, kind of these globe lights that hang over the booths and everything. It's done really well.
Yeah. By far, though, the biggest food court seating area I think I've ever seen.
Oh yeah.
Just
I would say
massive.
double Art of Animation, don't you think?
At least.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's massive.
They're planning for a lot of people.
Well, it's good because they have a lot of rooms there. 1,800 when it's all said and done.
You're right.
Apparently, people vacation with their families.
I didn't know that.
Okay. Well, we're gonna.
This is break time.
Yeah, let's take a break. And because we have to get a word from our sponsors in fun 60s fashion.
It's VO5.
Ooh, yeah. So we're gonna take a quick break. Whenever we come back, we will talk about the actual family suites that are now open and the Cabana Courtyard. We'll be back. The Diz Unplugged Universal Edition is brought to you by Dreams Unlimited Travel, experts at helping you plan the perfect trip to Universal, whether you stay on-site at one of the world-class hotels or are in need of theme park tickets with round-trip transportation to and from Walt Disney World. Visit them on the web at www.dreamsunlimitedtravel.com. So we're back, and
that was weird.
That was a great word from our sponsor.
That was very NPR, actually.
Was it soothing?
It was Michelle Norris and what's her name? Terry Gross from All Things Considered.
Oh, dang! I take that as a compliment.
I hope someone knows that reference. Someone will.
Someone will. That's the one thing about all this. Right. Someone knows. So we last left you with the lobby. May it stand where it was before.
Okay.
So let's go to the Cabana Courtyard because that's the next logical place. You have to pass that if you're going to your room.
You do.
You kind of walk through it. You can.
Sometimes.
Why only sometimes?
It has hours because there's a big fence around it because of the pool.
Yeah.
Because of safety.
Mm-hmm.
And you need your key access. Very similar to the pool at Art of Animation, I would say.
Yep.
There's a fence, and then you need to use your RFID key to get in. And that closes at 10 right now. So if you need to get from the main lobby, main building, to your room after 10 p.m., you have to go around the whole thing, which is fine. I mean, it's not a long walk.
Yeah, no.
But things like the pool bar, the fire pit, all that stuff closes at 10.
Yeah. And it's also, it's not just that they turn off the key card to let you in. They put actual physical locks on.
Oh, okay. I didn't see those.
They did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was so physical locks.
All right.
So that happened.
Yeah. So that's the courtyard.
We kind of just mentioned it. So, but we'll start with the diving tower. That's the icon of.
It is. It's this big white tower that's kind of at an angle with different tiers.
Yes.
I think there's 3 or 4. And then water comes off the top of it. It's a big water
and
feature.
a waterfall. And apparently these diving towers were once popular in the 50s and 60s.
Okay.
I wasn't around for that.
No.
So
I believe it, though.
I'll trust that they were popular.
Yeah.
Which is cool. But through the diving tower comes the water slide.
Yeah, the water slide
is very short.
It's a short water slide, and there's not much to it. It kind of like turns a little bit and then dumps you into the pool.
It does. You can actually squirt people with these water guns while they're going down the slide. So that's a little nice feature, I guess, to it. But the water slide leads into the pool.
Surprisingly, sometimes it's supposed to be the lawn next to the pool. That would have been better, but
so it shoots into the pool. And the pool is 12,000 square feet. Well, or almost. Oh, okay. It was stressed that it was 11,000 and change, but we'll just round up to 12 for.
They don't want to brag about it.
Oh yeah, I mean, 12,000.
It's just being conceited. Yeah.
And you can enter.
You are allowed to go into it, but it does have a 0 entry.
Yes.
Access.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
And not only that, one thing I wanted to point out too is it had a lot of the chairs to lower.
Everywhere.
Like every 20
everywhere.
feet, it basically
even
had
the
one.
hot tub had one. What's the term? I don't know.
I don't know the actual term.
But the chairs that would lower immobile guests into the pool or into the hot tub.
And the only time I ever saw that many was whenever we went on a tour of what's Shades of Green. That was the only time I've seen that many chairs lowering them in. But it's a cool feature. There's also the interactive kids area, if that's what you'll call it. So
you could call that. I went in there once to take photos, and it was horrible. there were children and a mom in there, and it just got weird. So I left. I have 2 photos of it, and that's all I can get.
So there's a lot of water shooting out of places and
I
buckets
just didn't want to take
dropping.
pictures of the kids.
Yeah. Well, that would be weird.
Yeah.
So it's for kids. Kids will probably enjoy it. Adults, don't go in there with a camera. I think that's the lesson to learn from this.
It is.
So the poolside cabanas.
Yeah, there are 17 of them.
There is 17.
Did you know that?
Of them. Yeah.
And they line the pool. They're wooden. There are TVs.
Yep.
I believe DVR. What's the word?
DVD
players.
Yes.
Not DVRs. You can't TiVo your shows.
Yeah. A fan.
There's a fan. A lounge chairs bed thing.
Yeah.
There's no front cover.
There isn't. So it's not private.
Yeah.
But it is private because only you're allowed in there.
But if you want to watch Maury without anyone judging you, I don't know what you're supposed to do.
Who would judge anyone for watching Maury?
No one, I guess.
But not only that, it costs money to rent these.
Do you have that information?
I don't.
But it is money.
But it costs monies.
You're right.
So if you don't have the monies, then.
And I will say this: when we were there was plenty of seats available.
Yeah.
So this would be strictly if you wanted that kind of shaded area.
Yeah.
I don't think
you're going to be out there all day.
I don't think you're going to have a problem finding seats.
Yeah.
At least in the near future.
And this is where you can have your pizzas delivered if you wanted a pizza delicioso.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes.
Also, in the Cabana Bay Cabana Courtyard area, we have the Atomic Tonic Bar, and you can get drinks there. It's a bar.
It is a bar. It's a U-shaped bar, and there are LED lights embedded into the countertops of the bar, which I think was cool.
Yeah.
And especially at nighttime when you were out there before 10 p.m., you could see these lights. They were color changing, kind of fiber optics. I don't even know what they were, but they looked really cool.
Yeah, well, this is also kind of like the space age bar. Like, obviously, Atomic Tonic, you think atomic bombs.
Less scary, but yeah, there was a spaceship in the back with a monkey.
A monkey, that whole Russian aspect of it. Because Russians used to put monkeys in their spaceships and shoot them up. You can order a white. Yeah. Well, I don't think at this bar.
They said they can make you a white Russian at this bar.
I don't know.
Sure.
White Russians are pretty difficult to make.
All right, but they had signature drinks out here.
Yes, but the signature drink.
The best. Or go ahead. Maybe we're talking about different things.
You tell me.
At the count of 3. No, I was gonna say the PBR.
Sean Stamos.
Oh yeah, John.
Yeah, the PBR.
The PBR. You get the PBR. You get a can of PBR, the big tall can.
Yep.
And they serve it in a brown bag,
16
insulated. 16 whole ounces. In a insulated brown paper koozie bag.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It's literally insulated on the inside. It's pretty neato. I wouldn't recommend drinking the beer that's inside. I would buy it. It's $4.
It's $4, which I mean, if you're thinking of PBR, that's
no.
Yeah.
It's well, I can compare because I went to Walmart and found out how much it costs for a 4-pack of 16-ounce PBRs, and it costs $2.67 at Walmart.
Yeah, so you're paying for the novelty and the
You're paying
koozie.
for the bag. You're paying for the bag.
You can get a bucket of 6, I believe.
Yeah.
I don't know how much that was, but I mean.
Yeah, I mean it's PBR. It takes you back to your college days at the least.
Your redneck 60 days.
But it's a really cool bag. It's something people were very excited about.
Yeah, we got a couple of them. They're a cool souvenir to take home.
Yeah, I have a lot of them now.
Okay.
I think I have 4 at home.
There you go.
Already. We'll get you one. I saw you mouth that.
So
Okay.
there's the bar. Then there's actually these cool picnic areas.
Yep.
They're called the Wayside Picnic Parks. And they look like the roadside rest areas where there would be picnic benches, picnic tables, all that kind of stuff. But they have those overhangs that are kind of that V shape over top of them.
Yeah.
It's really iconic, and it looks really cool in the pool area.
Yeah, in the way it was described to us, it was kind of reminiscent of some of the rest areas that you would see if you're driving down 75 heading towards Tampa.
Yeah.
So that was kind of the inspiration from it, which it's cool that they could add it back into Florida.
It is.
Right beside there, that's where you have the actual other Wayside Park area where the food truck's going to be. And they're going to have them there daily from 11 o'clock to 3 o'clock. There will be a variety. The 2 days we were there, we saw the Yum Yum Cupcake truck, which sells cupcakes. And that was kind of the first place that they went to whenever they were looking to find food trucks for it. They started with Yum Yum and then asked suggestions from there. They also got a tamale company one.
Yeah.
I haven't been back to check out what else is really.
There was something Mexican. Oh, wait, tamale. That's
Tamales
Mexican.
are Mexican.
There was something else. It was like barbecue, or I forget the exact name of it. But
it's a cool little
it's
thing.
a nice feature
Yeah,
to have
it
this
is.
out, especially if you're going to have dinner at the diner. Maybe have lunch out at the food truck.
And I didn't see how they pull away, but
You're right. It's kind of in a way that like there's grass all around it, and there's not a clear exit strategy.
I'm guessing that the ground opens up and it just does
lowers
this.
it.
Yeah, kind of like how in a Goofy movie, whenever the singers got lowered from the ceiling.
That's
in the
exactly.
end.
They watched the Goofy movie and said, "This is how we'll do the food trucks." Yeah.
Okay. Let's circle back around to that fire pit.
Okay.
It's a
It's
fire
a fire
pit.
pit.
Yeah.
The funniest thing about the fire pit is that it's built in a way that the chairs are meant to be around the outside circle.
Yeah.
And so there's kind of a steep, not steep, maybe 2 feet or something. I don't know. But there's a ramp that goes circular around the fire pit. And normally during the day when the chairs are backed up against it, there's no danger of falling down this 2 feet thing. But at nighttime, everyone brings the chairs closer to the fire to stay warm. And so it leaves this drop off that.
Lots of obscenities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of scary. I don't know. I don't think they thought it through. Maybe they thought the chairs would stay in the back. I don't know.
I don't know either, but it's there. You can also buy s'mores kits to cook over the fire.
There's Morse.
S'mores.
Okay.
Do you want some more of what?
Some more. What?
It's a Sandlot reference.
Oh.
It's fine. But moving on, there's also the recreation area that we had a long discussion about ladder ball. I don't want to talk about ladder ball anymore.
I didn't Google it. I forgot. I should have done that in the break.
Well, that's your fault.
Yeah, okay.
So, and then the beanbag toss they have there, the pool tables, which they promised are level, even though it's in a sand.
Oh, it's in a sand pit.
Yeah, I guess that's a good thing to mention it. It's a sand pit.
This whole thing is sandy. It's like a beach.
is.
There's trees and whatever. Yeah.
And there's lights, and they light up at night.
I don't know how it's level though. It doesn't make sense to me.
I mean, the cement, and then like the.
Okay, so there's cement. Wouldn't you kick it accidentally with your foot? I don't know.
I'm not I was going to be an engineer. I'm not. I'm a videographer.
All right.
So, and then they also have live music in this area from bands and
From band. Not the band. Just a
it
band.
wasn't.
I don't think so.
Well, there's a band and they kind of wear
Up on
retro
Triple Creek.
costumes and they sing and dance. They do play classics hits like 50 song stuff you'd hear from Elvis and other people, all the way up to Journey.
Elvis and other people. And Journey.
Yeah. Because no night would be complete without hearing Don't Stop Believin' while you're poolside.
You're right.
I am.
One of the 4 cover versions from Glee.
Yeah. And speaking of that, we forgot to talk about the Ditzy Girls.
I was going to bring that up, actually. Yeah. Is it their official title?
It is now.
I don't think it is. There's 60s themed ladies, streetmosphere you might even call them, that walk around the pool area. Mm-hmm. They have like the pretty dresses on. I would describe their style as looking kind of Betty Draper-ish.
Okay.
However, they're over the top silly and kind of stupid and like beach. I don't know. They're just kind of ditzes.
They're almost Charles Nelson Riley, like.
Every character in Troll in Central Park. But I wish that they were kind of like. I don't know. I think there was an opportunity to maybe have them be a little bit more kind of sophisticated, but they kind of were just ditzy, walking around, making funny jokes, hitting on the guys. And I mean, that's the fun thing. I guess people like that, but
People like the cheese.
I know they do.
So then they also play movies out at the poolside every night, kind of right beside the Atomic Tonic bar. Yeah. And they'll play anything from like 50s, 60s beach movies to Universal movies. And like it was kind of cool. The first night they played Elvis's Blue Hawaii, which really fit in.
It did perfectly, yeah.
And then the second night that we were there, they played Despicable Me.
Oh yeah,
which I enjoy the film. I just don't know. I mean,
they should do 2 movies. Kind of have a kids family one earlier, and then do kind of
like a drive-in double feature.
You're exactly right.
I am.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'll be here for the next 15 minutes.
All right, let's wrap this up.
So family suites.
Family suites.
600 in the courtyard area.
This is all they have right now.
Yeah.
Until June 16th.
Yep.
16th.
And then that'll open up the other 300 suites along with the 900 rooms. We're going to mention it at least 6 more times. Before I go too far, I can't find the actual number of the prices. I know it's in here.
In the script?
Yeah.
You said that it starts at $174 per night, depending on time of year and the view you get.
Exactly.
But I also know that there's a lot of rates, including Florida resident rates that you can get right now that are a lot better than that.
Yes.
There are 900 total suites. They sleep up to 6 guests. There are 2 queen beds and then 1 pull-out couch in the living room area.
Yeah.
So when you walk in, you kind of walk directly into the little kitchenette area. There's a fridge, a microwave, a sink. There's no stovetop or anything like that.
No.
But there's a cabinet, and there's upper cabinets too with with like dishes and I don't know what was in there.
Just plasticware.
Plasticware. Yeah. Then there was the little seating area with the couch, 2 chairs, a dresser.
I was just thinking we probably would have burned down the hotel had we had a little range or something.
I know. I don't know why we would have cooked, but anyway, so then there's like a little seating area. It's really nice. There's a TV, and there's this cool room divider. So what divides the seating area, the living room area, from the bedroom is a dresser and then a floor-to-ceiling kind of, not rice paper, but it's kind of a transparent kind of thing. It's not see-through. There's definitely privacy, but it is kind of a lighter thing, so it lets light pass through. So if you're in the bedroom with the windows open, it still is bright.
Yeah.
And then the cool thing is half the drawers on the dresser open up into the living room, half of them open up into the bedroom.
Exactly.
Which I think is cool.
Yeah. Not a lot of storage space in terms of it, though.
No.
But then there's in the bedroom, there's actually a closet space. You can hang up stuff with hangers.
With real hangers.
With real hangers. That's where the ironing board and the iron as well are going to be. The room comes with a safe for safety. Yeah. And the TVs, there's 2 Samsung 40-inch TVs in each room. They have multiple HDMI ports open and available to use, as well as a USB port in the TV that you can plug into.
Yeah, to watch things.
To watch stuff. So if you have kids and you like to bring an Apple TV or whatever from home, you can plug it in. A PlayStation, maybe.
You're right. Yeah.
An Xbox, a computer.
All of those things.
All of those things can be used. Yeah. We'll have the full list available in the show notes of stuff you can plug in TVs.
Great. I can't wait to write that.
All HD channels for the most part. A couple that are
it was a good
SD,
selection.
But basically every channel.
This was my first time staying in a Universal hotel. It surprised me that there was a Universal movie channel. Like, I know that Disney does that.
That's actually, I get that in Bright House, the Universal movie channel.
Maybe this wasn't a thing.
I don't think it was the thing.
Okay. Then it wasn't. Never mind. It's just Bright House.
And it probably is Bright House actually running the cable there because I get all the same channels in HD at home that I got in there. So it would make sense.
All right.
There's complimentary internet.
There is
available
Wi-Fi.
in the rooms. Yes, Wi-Fi. and it is also
it's standard browsing Wi-Fi.
Yes.
If you need to do anything that's a little more, it takes a little more speed, whether it's like video uploads, photo uploads, that kind of stuff, there is an upcharge that you can pay, I think, $14.95 a day.
$14.95 a day. That goes from 11 a.m. to 11 a.m. the next day. That's considered their days on that.
Yeah.
So
don't get it at 10 a.m.
If you get it at, literally, if you get it at 10 a.m.
You got to pay for 2 days.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Well, read the fine print.
I will. Sorry.
Sucker.
Jeez.
Oh,
weird.
Okay, so we talked about the couch that
the couch pulls out. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Sleeps 2, maybe 3.
Okay, not 3.
Depending on what kind of party.
All right, let's move on.
Sorry, Mom.
Stupid. There's 2 chairs. You can watch TV. That pulls out. There's pillow sheets. Everything you need.
Yep.
I don't know what else about that living room.
It's a living room. There's
divider
lights.
Closes. Yeah. Okay.
We covered that. Let's move on to the bedroom.
There's 2 queen beds.
Yep.
Oh, okay. What else about the bedroom? There's a nightstand. There's plenty of plugs.
One thing I did want to mention: there's not a digital clock in there. So if you're one of the people who actually sets a digital alarm clock instead of actually, using your cell phone or whatever device you use for an alarm. You don't have that. They have a retro clock.
Which I love because the light always bothers me in hotel alarm clocks. The stupid red light that flashes. This is like a cool retro little white clock that you can use. It works. Yeah. But, I mean, most people use their phones now.
Yeah. Or you can do a wake-up call service.
With Transformers or
Transformers, Spider-Man. They do all the characters.
Yeah. So then there are 2 plugs on each side of the nightstand, which I think is great.
Yeah.
They really accommodated that. Even in the living room, I didn't mention this, but there were plugs almost everywhere.
Plugs galore.
Even on the side of the dresser, which was really helpful.
And USB outlets.
Yeah, on the countertop in the kitchen area. Yeah.
So in case you forget the charger part, but you have your cord, all you do is plug the USB port into the wall, or the USB cable. My bad.
Exactly.
That's basically everything about the bedroom, but the bedroom also has the bathroom in it.
Bathroom, yeah.
The bathroom, you can't access it from the living room area. You have to go into the bedroom.
You have to go in between the divider.
Yeah.
Through the divider.
Is kind of...
Well, if you have to pee and you're sitting out in the living room and someone's napping or
it's
something.
your family.
Okay.
I
mean, there's doors. It's not like it's... Yeah.
Well, there's 2 doors.
2 doors. There's a private commode area.
Yes.
With a toilet.
That's a toilet.
Yeah, but I'm being fancy.
Okay.
60s style.
Cool.
So there's the bathroom commode. That's literally nothing in there.
That's on the left.
Toilet. On the left. Yeah. Then there's a sink that's out in the open that you can wash your hands after you use
vanity.
A vanity, you might say. They have towels.
Yes.
And the thing I love the most is the toiletries in this resort are old retro toiletries. So Zest soap and VO5 shampoo. Yeah. Which I think is really funny.
But did you use any?
No, I used the Zope, the Zope,
the Zope,
the Zest soap,
the Zest soap
in the resort. But I didn't use any of the VO5.
Just shortening it now.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah.
I didn't use it. You stole the shampoo and stuff.
She brought the VO5 the first day, and then I think she saw me the second day and saw that I was bald, and so she didn't bring any more shampoo, and so Craig didn't get any. Sorry.
It's fine.
Yeah.
I'll live.
You will.
I will live another day. But yeah, so then the shower and another vanity.
You're right. So there's 2 sinks.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
which is odd to me. Wouldn't the sink be with the toilet? Because you got to open the door afterwards.
That's my thoughts exactly. My whole thought process on all of it is they say online when you read the resort information, it's like, oh, there's room for 3 people to get ready at once. And I get you could take your clothes and change in the toilet area, but that's the last place I want to.
No, and it's weird.
That's like... But that's my argument on that in their writing. But I just want to compare the size of the suites real quick to Art of Animation.
Smaller.
Just in general, yeah, they're smaller.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're missing a bedroom. A bedroom. Well, no,
right?
Are they?
Yeah.
I don't remember. I've only been in Art of Animation once.
Yeah.
They're missing the bathroom. There's 2 bathrums in Art of Animation.
Yeah, there are.
There's only one.
There's like a clear shower, a walk-in. Yeah.
So they're not as big, but I just want, just so people have a mental image of what they are. If they've been to Art of Animation, if they're expecting the same, it's not quite the same, but that's not necessarily saying that they're good or bad.
Okay.
Because we didn't pay for the room, so I'm not saying if it was good or bad.
All right, yeah. So that's the room. I think we covered everything.
Yeah.
Bathroom. Towels, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, just looking at it in general, I think we basically talked about everything there.
Is it hat time?
Are we prepared for hat time?
I think people are waiting. I think Jillian can leave work when she's watching.
Okay. Well, so as part of media events, we are sometimes given free things. And for the Cabana Bay opening, they left in our room this lovely blue hat
that none of us want to wear. I mean,
we want to give away to you.
Yes.
I would love to wear this, but this blue isn't my type of color.
No, it's a beachy hat.
Yes.
Imagine like you put sunscreen on, you put that hat on, you'd be great on the beach.
And I don't want to say that it's a woman's only hat, but I feel
it's geared towards ladies.
Yes, it is. There's also tan hats there that are more geared towards men. So this is more on the ladies' end, but it's a beautiful hat.
It is.
I like it.
It needs shaping.
And a little bit of shaping, unless you want to go flat bill.
You could do the Justin Bieber.
Yes.
Yeah.
Also,
Jeez.
I'm just
all right.
Crap. So, and then also this. We'll go with the next because it's not as good.
Some of these are mysteries.
For some reason, it's a Transformers pad and pen.
Can we explain how we're doing this though? Did we come up with a way to?
Oh, we don't come up with a way, so we're gonna have to figure that out on the fly.
Okay, so let's announce the prizes.
So
first.
we got this: a Transformers pen and pad. It's got a string that holds it all together. So whenever you're walking, Karen.
For your Optimus Prime and your Bumblebees, I don't know.
And then last but not least, a lollipop.
This is a cool one.
This is the kit in the caboodle of prizes. I mean, this is what you want to go home with.
Because explain the sticker situation.
There's a sticker on the
There's
front.
a sticker that's removable.
It's not on, like, you can't eat that. That's a sticker. And it says it's a re-sticker though, so you can put it on something.
I don't know your situation.
You can re-stick it.
Put it on a car.
There's different colors, so if this one's green. It's a green re-sticker.
We don't have different colors. We have the one.
We only have the one. Yeah. But if you go next time, you're like, hey, I really wish I would have got the blue sticker.
You can get another one.
Get one.
And then you can for a nominal fee. Yeah.
And I mean, it comes on this nice cardboard.
All right,
paper.
we're really overselling it.
I would want it. So $3.95 retail value.
Okay, the price is right all of a sudden.
Just in case.
Okay, we've got these three things.
We got these three things.
What should we do?
Do we want to give them away individually
or
I think all together?
It's too much for one person to have.
I just feel like the person would lose who gets the Transformers pad and pen.
No, they will love it. They will love it.
And we just really want to get rid of it.
Let's do this. We have Twitter, we have Facebook, we have YouTube.
Okay.
Let's use those three things. Leave us a comment on our post, or just tweet at us. So we'll put the show video on Friday on Facebook. Comment something funny. Tell us that you love us, that you hate us, whatever. Do that. We'll choose one from Facebook, Twitter, and then the YouTube comment. How does that sound?
So we're giving away each thing individually?
You want to do it as a group?
I don't know. What do you think?
I think it's too much.
It's too much? Okay, so who gets the losing? Okay, we're not going to tell you because I don't want to say that the Transformers
This is a train wreck. We just need to figure it out.
I'm not going to put the Transformer one on there and then no one tweets anything about it because I'm stuck with Transformers.
That's why we're not telling them which gets. Okay. Just do it all three and then we'll.
Okay.
Good luck.
So
if you get stuck with the Transformers thing, I'm sorry. I told them no.
Yeah, but that's cool. So if you're interested, do all those things. Spread the word. But just in general, I hope you enjoyed our look at Universal's Cabana Bay Beach Resort. Remember, the Americana and Continental Towers. Continental.
Yeah, all that opens on June 16th.
Yep.
We'll go back, more photos. We didn't even talk about our photos and videos that we have online.
Oh, yeah.
Go look at that stuff.
Yeah.
We'll link to it.
YouTube. /WDW Info.
WDW Info, yes.
And then also on June 16th, Lazy River Courtyard Hideaway Bar and Grill will be open.
Can't wait. Bar and Grill.
We'll finish our full coverage on the resort whenever all that stuff is open. And then afterwards, eventually we will do a full review on the resort with a special guest. I don't want to ruin it, but he is a very, very important person.
Yeah.
So if you're interested,
it's not Mickey Rooney.
Stay tuned.
Was that bad? Was it bad?
In terms of too soon, yes, that was.
I love Mickey Rooney, but it's not him.
It's not Mickey Rooney.
Okay. It wasn't that bad. Come on.
So yeah, we'll do a full review eventually with a special guest who handles all the hotel reviews. So look forward to that in the future, as well as Sean continually knocking his mic.
This microphone does not work.
Pressing it, hitting it, doing all that stuff. So that's all for now. We'll be back with another episode of the Diz Unplugged Universal Edition in a couple weeks.
All right.
So thanks for watching, everyone.
Bye, guys. Thanks.